Hello, Nomads, and thank you for tuning in to this Listen and React, where I'm going to do things a little bit differently because I'm going to play around and play along with some parts and kind of show you what's happening, at least from the guitar perspective, on this really weird song. If you are a fan of the 90s, you might recognize this song, but it is admittedly a bit of a deep cut. But it's a really super cool song, and my 90s cover band plays it. So that's the only reason I know so much about the guitar parts in it, because it is, quite honestly, a pretty weird song. But I really enjoy it. I really like some of the guitar work that they do. So, without too much further ado, let me get into my blurb and spiel and ask you to like, comment, and share this video. Those things are really helpful. Also, please do check out all my different social media sites. And if you want to, you can throw me a tip over on Venmo. I would really appreciate all that support. So, let me roll my theme song, and then I'll show you some things that's going in this song. In the Meantime by Spacehog. A band with just one dude, no reason to fret. I'll play with myself, it's Nate's one-man duet. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to come through and preview a couple things that are going on in the guitar. Now, my guitar is tuned differently than they do here. I'm a half step down. They're in standard tuning, although I think they might be a little bit off, or maybe sometimes that's just a byproduct of how things were recorded and such. But so as you listen, this will not match exactly the recording that you're going to hear. But this has got a really interesting thing that they're doing. The main kind of verse of the song, there's not much going on with the guitar. So it's this little riff here. It's just that kind of over and over, which is interesting because there's not a whole lot there, but the bass line is very busy, and I'll kind of point that out when we get there. Also, in the intro, there's this other alternative part, which I'll point out to you in just a moment. But then we're really going to get to the star of the show, which is like the main riff, and it is so cool. This is really I think the most identifiable part of the song, at least from the guitar perspective. So it goes. That was close. That was it. Again, I mean, so iconic, but really, I was blown away when I learned this. I was like, I first heard it, and I'm like, man, this is a monster guitar song. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it. And then I kind of watched a tutorial, and I was like, that's actually way easier than I would have thought. You know? It's really about these bends right here. So cool. I just love that riff so much. And then I think, to me, as a guitar player, like the most iconic part of the song is at the end, the outro. This is the part that I love. I almost play this entire song just waiting to do the outro because I like it so much. So it goes. And the interesting thing about that, when you hear it in the recording, it sounds monstrous. It sounds so amazing. But you saw in that deconstruction, at least the guitar is not doing anything. It's about just those kind of, you're not playing any chord. You're just kind of chunking on the strings, kind of like the Creep, right? But I'm a creep. Anyway, sidetracked, sorry. So yeah, it's that. But then when you add it to the guitar part that's going on and the bass that's kind of driving that section, it just ends up sounding so incredible. So that's kind of a preview on guitar of what you're going to be hearing. So let me get this guitar off and we'll get to the actual recording of it. All right, so we're going to start with the intro, and I kind of previewed the little do-do-do-do-do-do. But then it's got that secondary part, which I said that I would talk about, which goes like, it almost sounds like it's a dial tone. Like maybe they played the keys on an old phone. For those of you kids out there, like phones used to be things that had actual like analog buttons on them. I don't look up a YouTube video on it. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, each so it goes do 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 boo do boo boop. It's a weird syncopated and then added to that do 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 do. It adds this really interesting thing. And that's only going to go for a measure or two. And then this bass line and the drums come in. The bass line, though, is so amazing. It dances all around. Really cool. And then it all kind of builds that part. And then it goes into that iconic guitar part. So I love this intro. I'm going to try for once to just let it play and not interrupt. So I think I've described all I want you to listen to. So let's check it out. Oh, that bass line. Boo-boo-doo, boo-boo-doo. Amazing. Nice little transition, and here comes the main part. So good. All right, see, I let it play. Okay, so now we've already had such movements. I love this song because it's all about these different dynamics. So now it's going to kind of go back down to how it was at like the beginning of the intro, and the guy's going to start singing. He's got a very interesting voice, and the lyrics are different. The song is a little strange, but that's kind of what I like. So again, it goes back to all of that simplistic part. I will keep an ear out to see if the bass line is as intricate in the verses as it was in the intro, because I hope you heard that intro bass line. It is so good. So yeah, let's give it a listen.
In the end, we shall achieve in time the thing they call
same bass line.
When all the stars will smile for me. When all is well and will is all for all and forever after.
So I also really like this little turnaround where it transitions from the verse to the chorus. It does a little variation on the chord structure, and I really like it. It gives it this nice little moment of some kind of tension and drama to then go into that iconic guitar part. And we should also say, I didn't talk about the vocals in the intro. Incredible. I mean, the guy has got a super high range. It sounds so cool. That's that transition part. Another cool thing that happens is this band was very gifted about writing transitions in and out of verses, choruses, bridges. So it's got that do 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 da 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 da. But then there's this variation of it that he does at the end of the outro, and now he's doing at the end of the chorus. That goes do 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 do. It's just a little step down, which is a totally different pattern than the rest of the chorus. It's really cool, and really signifies to the listener, hey, we're transitioning here, right? We're getting out of the chorus, we're going on to either a verse or a bridge. A bridge is coming up, which is really, it's hard to pick out a favorite part of this song because they're all so unique. But I really like the bridge in this song. We're not there yet, though.
When I cry for me, I cry for you. With tears of hope.
So I know I'm going to be a broken record, but this bass line.
I ever say I'd never play or
Fly towards the sun.
Maybe in the meantime something's wrong. Love beyond you. Lands are green and skies blue. When all in all.
And this song is so well recorded. Like, as I'm hearing it, I can hear a couple of different layers of guitars and things, but it just has such a great presence, and I love it. All right, we're getting close to the bridge. There's that step down to the bridge.
That sound fine, so I see it sometime. In my love to the future, I'm a humankind. Okay, that's not okay.
The thing I like about this bridge is that there's like this urgency, da 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 da, and then it kind of slows down. It's like all these like tremendous gear shifts within the bridge itself. I think is really cool.
While it's on my mind, there's a good bits of crime for a future love dream that I'm still to find. But in the meantime,
Another really fantastic transition right out of that bridge into now the chorus. Now, the song is effectively over. They're just going to sing the chorus a bunch of times from here on out. And there's 2 minutes left in this song. So as we're listening to him sing over and over, he's going to do, there's some interesting things that happen. Lyrically, he sings the same thing, I think, 3 times, and then he starts to put some variations and like repeat certain parts of it. So there's an interesting structure that's going on, but musically is where some of the really cool stuff. We've already talked about how iconic that riff is, but then they've got a lead guitar that then starts to kind of solo over that while a bunch of other stuff is going on. It's really cool. So I'm gonna maybe let this outro play mostly by keeping my big mouth shut, but I probably will stop it when it comes to the true outro that I told you I love so much, because that part's super awesome. That was the first standard chorus. I was going to repeat it. Love me all of you. Lands are green and skies blue. All in all, it's just like you. We love me all of you. That was the second. Bass is varying a little bit. Lead guitar. So that's where the repeating, just like you, just like you, just like. Okay. So I said how gifted this band is at transition. So that was a really great example. So they did 2, I think, standard times through the chorus. Then they did this other time where he started repeating the just like you. The bass started doing a little. Then the lead guitar came in. And now he's doing that repeating just like you, just like you, and that's where it's going to be the start of the outro that really kicks some tremendous booty. So here we go. Just like you. So good. There is a little piano outro I forgot. Yeah. We obviously don't do this part in my 90s cover band. But someone starts noodling on a piano here. Kind of an interesting way. That's not really... doesn't tie in to any of the themes. That's really cool. So typically how that sound that we just ended off on is achieved is it's a reverse of someone hits a really strong chord and just lets it, you know, ring out, and then they flip it and play it backwards, and so it feels like it just builds and builds and builds and gets louder and bigger presence. So that's a cool little studio trick. Yeah, that piano outro I've forgotten all about is weird because it doesn't even sound like it's hitting the same chords. It's yeah, it's kind of its own piece. There's an outro in Glycerine by Bush that I've heard recently, was actually its own separate piece that was composed by, I believe it was the bass player. And so it's interesting how sometimes you'll hear that people compose something, you know, a piece on a piano, or in the case of Bush, it was an orchestral piece. And they're just like, oh, hey, we like that. Let's tag it on to the end of this song, you know. So I don't know if that's what happened here with Spacehog, but maybe, who knows? It was kind of an interesting little doodle and noodle on the piano. So that's all I got for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that helps you appreciate this song, In the Meantime by Spacehog, a little deeper and more thoroughly. And yeah, let me know what you think. What stands out to you? What do you hear when you listen to this? Because that's the cool thing about music. We all get affected by things differently. We all hear things differently. So hope you've enjoyed hearing what I have to say, what I hear as I listen to this song. So thank you guys so much. Have a great week. We'll look forward to lots of future videos. Please do hit the little bell, the subscribe thing, the notifications. It'll tell you when I got new videos coming out, because 2 come at you every week. A lot of content comes your way from me, so I hope you're enjoying it. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. What are you guys still doing here? Scroll on to the next video. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for being awesome and watching all the way to the end. There's going to be a reward for you in just a few minutes where I'm going to share the outtakes and bloopers from the video that you just watched. But first, I wanted to let you know, please send me your requests of songs that you want to hear. Let me know what song and what style, and I'll add it to my to-do list. If you throw me a Venmo tip along with that request, I will be sure to get it done as quickly as possible. And if you throw me a generous Venmo tip, I'll even throw in a shout out for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Now on to me screwing things up.